All right, guys, these three questions can actually help you create purposeful work in your life. And I'm going to get into the exact questions that you need to ask yourself in order to have more purpose and fulfillment and overall happiness in your life. And really, it starts first, before we get into those questions, by just taking stock, acknowledging right now where you are in your current situation. Think about it. Are you happy right now within your hustle? Do you wake up excited to do what you do? Like, do you feel like right now the work that you're doing in exchange for money is actually making a positive impact on others? And it's specifically on others that you want to help. These are the important questions that we must first identify before we even get into the three questions, because you have to acknowledge where you are right now. Like, do you actually like your job or maybe you hate it? Do you wake up just super bummed out that this is your life? And sorry to get depressing here, but this is the truth. Ask yourself these questions. I mean, is there conflict with your boss or coworkers? What would you actually like to be getting up and doing in exchange for money if you could do anything, right? See, I was burned out doing something I didn't like. I was hustling, but not happy, especially launching my tech startup in New York City and working 100 plus hour weeks. And I just burnt myself out soliciting this 7-figure VC funding deal. And ended up getting the deal, but I wasn't happy. So I moved to Thailand and basically created a better way to work and live. And many of you know my story. However, that is where the Happy Hustle was born. And it really is now all about creating a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact for you out there watching this, listening to this. This is so important to just stop sacrificing your time for money and doing things that you don't want to be doing. So after you acknowledge where you are, you have to make a game plan to then basically say, all right, how can I actually create purposeful work in my life? Right? What does that look like? And I'm going to go ahead and just help you with purposeful work by asking you these three questions. And as my friends at Brand Builders Group like to teach as a part of their curriculum, it starts first by understanding what problem do you feel called to solve, right? What problem do you feel called to solve? That's the first question. Second question, who do you feel called to solve that problem for? Okay, who do you feel called to solve that problem for? And then the third question, what is your uniqueness and how can you exploit it in the service of others? All right. And I'm going to dive into each of these three questions. But the third question is, what is your uniqueness and how can you exploit it in the service of others? So I want to dissect each of these questions and how it relates to you and you creating purposeful work in your life. Okay. And just seriously, if you're not driving right now, you should have a pen and paper out. You should write down these questions and you should start to think about it for yourself. Okay. Because these are the questions that are going to allow you to combine your passion, which is inward facing, your purpose, which is outward serving, to ultimately create a positive impact, right? Business is essentially solving people's problems at a profit. Like my friend Wade Lightheart says, we just had him on in episode 108. Great episode if you haven't heard it. However, that's really what it is. Don't overcomplicate business. It's simply solve people's problems. Think about what problem you want to solve. Like what cause or problem actually do you resonate with? What problem speaks personally to you? I mean, many times this problem is something that we personally faced, something that we have went through. So think, what have you went through? What problem have you overcome? And then think about how you could combine your skills and your knowledge to create a solution. And now here comes the tricky part. See if you can distill your problem that you solve into one word. That is the type of specificity that will ensure the clarity that you crave. So for me, an example, the one word problem that I solve, Cary Jack, solves the one word problem of imbalance. Imbalance is the one word problem that I solve. See, I was out of balance. So I know what it's like to be in that state of imbalance. And I figured out a way to solve it for myself. And now I can solve it for others using the 10 alignments as my proprietary framework. The 10 alignments of being a happy hustler. Many of you know this. If you don't, we'll get into it. And you could also go to thehappyhustle.com and find out all about them. Sign up for the signature course, shameless plug. However, the point is, I figured out what one word problem I solve, and that is my through line in all my marketing, all my messaging, in my mission. So you got to think about what it is for you. What is your through line? And with BBG, Brand Builders Group, we get into this specifically. What is that one word problem that you solve? You'll hear Rory and AJ, the co-founders of Brand Builders Group, talk about this all the time. And it's sometimes tough to distill what that one word problem is for you. However, once you can get that type of clarity, the gates of heaven open and momentum just flows, right? It's that important, okay? So really think about what is that one word problem for you right now, okay? And if you're stuck here, seriously ponder what you have been through or thoroughly researched that gives you the right to solve that problem for people and the planet, right? And most of the time, as my good buddy Nicholas Bailey likes to say, our mess becomes our message. And if you want to check out more about Nicholas, we did an episode 13, all on the, how to really turn your mess into your message and creating a multi-million-dollar company. But the point is, what is your mess? And what is that message that you can pull from that mess? Okay, think about that. Decide right now what problem that you want to solve and how potentially you could solve it with that one word clarity, right? Now, the second question, which we asked, is who exactly do you want to solve that problem for, right? See, this is a crucial part of actually achieving fulfillment and happiness from your work. If you solve problems for people that you don't like or love to be around, then you find yourself dreading the act of helping them, right? Isn't that funny when people just sell their products and services to people they really don't like? And then you end up having to service a person that you don't want to be around. I see that all too often, and it's sad to me. So think about who you actually want to solve that problem for, that targeted niche of the population that you actually feel called to serve and associate with. For me, I love solving the problem of imbalance for mission-driven entrepreneurs, right? I am a mission-driven entrepreneur, hence why I like helping others who are also mission-driven entrepreneurs. Oftentimes, we like solving problems for those who are in our old shoes or where we were, right? So think about who you want to solve that problem for. See, once you can identify the target niche you want to solve the problem for, then go ahead and go a mile deep and an inch wide with that particular targeted niche. And see, most people / companies / entrepreneurs say, oh, I can help everyone. Just buy my stuff and I can help you. I can help you. I can help grandma and grandpa. I can help Susie and Karen. I can help Larry and Tim and blah, 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 right? I can help everyone. And they go a mile wide and an inch deep. And then they wonder why their marketing messages don't land. See, you are a happy hustler. You're listening to this. You're watching this right now. And I know you are going to spend the time to find out exactly who your perfect target avatar is and how you can serve them. And you're going to go a mile deep with that and an inch wide. And you're not just going to identify the demographics like age, sex, location, marital status, and income, right? Oh, they're 25 to 35. They live in major US cities. They're male and, they're married and they make around 100K to 200K a year. Like a lot of people do that work, right? But happy hustlers, we take it a step further. We figure out the psychographics, right? The actual personality traits, the lifestyle choices, the opinions, the beliefs, the morals, the interests, right? We figure out what books they like, what movies they're watching, what brands they're following, what their values are, their beliefs, right? What's important to them. That's the type of specificity that you need in order to really get to know your perfect target avatar. See, this type of detail will allow you to cut through the noisy marketplace that is out there and speak directly to them with your message. See, with this type of clarity, instead of pushing marketing at them, which a lot of people do, they're just pushing out content day after day. You will be pulling those opportunity seekers, those perfect target avatars into your world with your products and services, with your message. When you're crystal clear on what problem you solve and who you solve it for, you then start to pull in your tribe, your avatar, instead of pushing content and marketing messages. Important distinction there. And then once you have your perfect target avatar's attention, right? I mean, attention is the biggest commodity that we can possess of oneself. You need to then add value to them and nurture a relationship. And then when the time is right, you can present your product or service to solve their problem. Oh, voila! You're making money and solving a problem you care about for people you care about, thus creating purposeful work. Boom. Boom shakalaka, y'all. I mean, I got to say, this gets me so excited. My little toes are wiggling right now as I just talk about it because I know this shit is spot on. All right? Figure out what problem you solve in one word specificity and who you solve it for. And if you want help with this, I actually help people with this exact task. And you could just go to Cary Jack on my LinkedIn and you could book a time with me under the Brand Builders Group free brand strategy call. And I will help you actually create your one word problem and who you solve it for. And then if it makes sense to even go deeper, if you actually want help in like accountability and expert mentorship and go through the whole Brand Builders Group curriculum, which I highly recommend, then I'll basically tell you how you could do that as well too. But the point is you got to do this stuff. Whether you do it with me, you do it with Brand Builders Group, or you do it on your own, you got to do this stuff. You got to figure out the answer to these three questions in order to create purposeful work, right? And now we're going to get to the third question. You're probably like, Cary, what is the third question? I'm going to tell you. Hang tight, all right? The next level to actually crushing purposeful work is exploiting your uniqueness in the service of others. Like Larry Wingett says, what is your uniqueness and how can you exploit it in the service of others, right? And you're probably also now thinking, well, Cary, that's great, but I just don't know what the heck my uniqueness is. And look, I'm going to tell you 2 quick ways to figure it out, okay? 1, you ask your 10 closest relationships in your life, could be your family, your friends, but 10 of your closest relationships. Hey, guys, what attribute of mine do you appreciate the most? What attribute of mine do you appreciate the most? Go ahead and text them that. See what they say. They will tell you your uniqueness and see what comes up most commonly. Now, if you don't feel like reaching out to 10 of your closest relationships and asking them what attribute of yours they appreciate the most, do this. Write down 5 things that make you feel authentically you. 5 things that make you feel authentically you. Okay? If you got a pen and paper, you better be writing this stuff down, all right? If not, take a note while you're driving and just do this stuff later. It's that important. Next, write down 5 things you are uniquely good at. 5 things that you are uniquely good at, okay? Write that down. So you should have 10 things right now. a list of the things that make you feel authentically you, and then a list of the things that you're uniquely good at. Okay. Now you cross reference the list and pick out the top one from each of those five to combine into your uniqueness to help you serve your perfect target avatar. Okay. And I know that was a little wordy. I'm going to repeat it. Cross reference the list. Pick out the top one thing from each of those two lists, combine them into solving your problem for your perfect target avatar, right? Whatever that is. Okay. Something that makes me feel authentically me, well, is my sense of humor. I love my sense of humor. I think, it's super cheesy, but I like it. And then another thing that I really like is sales. I really love sales. And I know that I'm uniquely good at them. So I combine my sense of humor with sales to help serve my perfect target avatar, right? That is how you can find your uniqueness and how you can exploit it in the service of others. So there you have it, you happy hustlers out there. 3 questions for you to answer to help you achieve purposeful work in your life today. And if you already feel purpose in your work, amazing. Use these questions to just dive deeper and become more clear so that you can help even more people. All right? Now, I'm going to leave you with this. The world needs your message. The world needs you to figure this stuff out so you can create purposeful work so you can help more people. So take action. Don't sacrifice your time doing meaningless work any longer, okay? The time is now for you to combine your passion and your purpose into purposeful work, okay? This is how you do it. Answer those 3 questions, right? What problem you solve, who you solve it for, and what is your uniqueness, and how can you exploit it in the service of others, right? That is the recipe to creating purposeful work. Now, I hope you guys got some value from this one. As I mentioned, if you do want help with this stuff, you can go to my LinkedIn and you can just book a time right there, or you can go on my IG. I got a link there too. You can get a time on my calendar and we can go through this stuff. And then if it makes sense, great, sign up with BBG. But if not, if you don't do it with BBG or you don't do it with me, figure it out for yourself because that's how important this is. Stop sacrificing your time for money doing something you don't love to do. Figure out what problem you feel called to solve. In one word specificity, who exactly you feel called to solve it for, right? And then what your uniqueness is and how you can exploit that uniqueness in the service of others. Boom, shakalaka, call me the doctor. I'm fired up about this stuff. I hope you guys got some value, and I hope that you go out there and happy hustle your dream reality, full of that passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm out, y'all. Peace and love.